Let me see, did I write it down? You said reflections?
Uh-huh. Now, you can't give me more than 2 words now, especially if you go into your notes.
Reflection is like when you reflect.
Now, then one of the words can't be reflect because that's the word we're trying to
Oh,
define.
yeah, because that's the word we're trying to define. Let me see. Reflection. I thought I wrote it down.
All right, well, how about if I give you my 2 words?
Okay.
All right, my 2 words are mirror image.
Oh, yeah, mirror image,
Yep, that's it and that's all. That's all a reflection is. Mirror image. All right. Now the questions like number 10, I will go ahead and tell you. These are always hard where you got to select all the ones that are true.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of always hard because you got to read all the answers and then decide whether that answer is right or not. So what we got in this one is for EH, that line segment to be the line of reflection between these 2 triangles, which statements must be true? So let's evaluate each one of them. Now, clearly you see on the screen which ones are right and which ones are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about why they're right and why they're wrong.
Wait, so if I got them, if those, the ones that I picked right now are right, why is it wrong?
No, now the way this reads now is it's saying this one's right, this one's right, this one's right, and you may have chosen this one and this one, but neither of those are right.
I didn't choose any of those.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying, though. But
But
I
did
didn't choose.
but did you do this one now? Because it's usually a different color when you have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't.
see how this one has a green check over the right
Yeah,
answer?
I didn't click those. The second one and the very, very last one. I never clicked it.
Oh,
So that should be right, I guess.
well, listen to me now. See how this one has a red X, which says, I think you chose answer
Yeah, I
D.
chose that one.
Okay.
I know I chose that one.
But when they're all gray, now that one tells me you may not have chosen anything because you still haven't submitted your test now. So it may not have an answer for question 10 yet. I'm guessing
Hmm.
here now. You tell me what the truth is.
Okay. Excuse me. Wait, huh? You want me to submit it or you want me to tell you about the quiz?
Just tell me whether you have chosen an answer. Look at number 10 and tell me if you chose an answer yet.
Yeah, I chose B. I chose A, C, and D.
Okay, that's right.
Then why on your computer it said it's wrong?
I don't know. But
So I got it right.
we'll be all right there now. But let's just talk through it and make sure we both agree on which ones are right and why they're right.
Okay.
All right. So it feels like, yeah, BD ought to be equal to DB prime. That feels right.
Yeah.
Now, DF doesn't have to equal FG. Matter of fact, it doesn't look like DF equals FG. So I wouldn't choose that
Because
one.
they're not the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't choose that one. And then the measure of angle EFA is a right
Not,
angle.
yeah, so it's a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that one. Then the line of reflection EH is the perpendicular bisector of BB prime, AA prime, CC prime. I believe that.
Yeah.
And then these 2 triangles, triangle ABC is not congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime.
Can you explain what prime is? Like
Yeah,
A prime, B prime, C prime?
prime is in math when we use the single quotation mark.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying single quotation mark, we just say prime, so that we can distinguish it from A. If I say A and then A with a single quotation mark, I'm talking about two different points there. So in words, I would call one point A, and then in words, I call the other one point A prime, Prime. It's just a notation. It's a way of distinguishing between those 2 points. All right, now tell me if that works for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, and mathematicians gonna do that till the end of time, when they have 2 points and they're trying to show that they may be similar but they're not the same. They will call one the prime, just to distinguish between those two. They could have called it B, but they're using B and B prime to distinguish another 2 points, and then the same thing for C and C prime. It helps to keep things from getting confusing. Instead of using A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K to describe all of this, they try to use as few letters as possible and use the single quotation mark so they can use the same letter more than once and label a point with it.
Okay.
All right, I'm getting to my word limit now, but so you understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right, now triangle ABC is not congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So that statement is true.
So,
No, that statement's not true.
I was like,
Those triangles are congruent. They got to be congruent because, what we're assuming here is that EH is the line of reflection. So if it is, that means these two triangles on both sides of the mirror, they have to be congruent. So they're being tricky there. To say it is not congruent is not true. It actually is congruent. That makes sense?
yes, sir.
All right. Say something to me now. How you feel about that one?
Good. A little better.
All right. So let's peek at number 8. Yeah, these are tricky too. See, I'm going to tell you in words what makes these tricky. It's notation. Now, the only way we can talk about these reflections mathematically is to use some sort of notation. So where I got to help is to help you interpret and read the notation. Weren't we talking about that a little while ago? That literacy was reading,
Yes.
writing, and counting?
Yes.
Oh yeah, trust me, the struggle we all have with math is in translating it into words and phrases that we can understand. That's the trouble we all have with math. But I digress now. That was me being political. I just need to teach math and hush. All right, so here's the rule for the reflection. All right, I'm going to say it looks like this triangle that is up top is rotated about the x-axis. Now, does that mean anything to you?
Which triangle? Show it again.
Okay, I'm going to call it the green
Oh, I see.
triangle.
I see. I see.
Yeah, see, it's rotated about this line. It's rotated about the x-axis. So there are some things that are true about the coordinates. That's what we're being asked to evaluate here. So off the bat, from jump, I know this is a rotation about the x-axis. So my answer is either A or C. You see that? Now, when we do that rotation, let's look at the actual points. See how the x-coordinate is the same here and the same here?
Yes, sir.
Let's see how the y-coordinate, though, is different here than here.
Yes, sir.
So that tells me my reflection will keep, follow the mouse now, will keep the same x-coordinate, but the y-coordinate will be multiplied by -1.
Okay.
See that?
Yes.
That's why that one is C. And again, that's a notation thing and being able to interpret the notation in words based on what you see in the picture. Now tell me where you went wrong there. Now you give me some words. Tell me where you went wrong.
The y, the y-axis. I said it was negative. I said it was x negative y, and I just went to the y. I was just always in the y-axis instead of the x. I was really looking at the y-axis instead of the x.
Okay.
If
Cause
that makes sense.
no, well, you chose the one with the right coordinates. Now you just chose the one that said reflection about the y-axis.
Yeah, the reflection of the y-axis.
It's actually about the x-axis. So that works out.
Okay.
Now, have you ever wondered why any of this is important?
Not really.
Okay, well, that's fair. But you see it all over video games and anything on a computer. You see this concept, if you will, exploited all the time in definitely in art and any kind of digital art.
Mhm.
Reflections are used. You know why? They
Why?
look good. They look good.
Yeah.
It is very pleasing to the eye to see a mirror image of something. It just looks good.
Yeah. True.
I hope you weren't waiting for me to say something deep, man. But they do it because it looks good. That's the only reason. But that's enough of a reason. All right, let's look at 6.
I can't.
Why?
I can't look at those questions.
Why you say that?
They're locked.
No, look at the screen.
Oh, I'm looking now.
All right, girl, did you eat breakfast?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. So, what is the relationship between R? Okay, so you got a trapezoid, PQRS, after a reflection about the line WY, and the reflection is called trapezoid P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. Okay. What is the relationship between R prime and S prime? Yeah, they R prime and S prime have to be parallel.
I'm looking.
You see that now? They have to be parallel.
Okay. So I got that right.
Yeah, this is 6. Well, okay. It says you got it wrong, but the only answer chosen is the right answer. See, trust me,
You
I
want
am.
me to just go ahead and see?
Well, yeah,
Then
if you can, if you can. But remember now, we're gonna pass you on the quiz anyway. We're just making sure we
going over
understand the
it.
ones you have missed.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna just submit it. I'm gonna see.
All right.
I got a 70.
Okay, so it is. This happens a lot. Trust me, it happens a lot. It's calling
Mhm.
one wrong that you actually got right.
Oh.
That this happens more than you know. So even the 70 score that you got on the first one, it probably had 4 of them marked wrong, but you still got a 70, and we don't know why. We'll be figuring that out to the end of Ingenuity. So,
Yeah, it still say number 6 is wrong.
all right. Well, if you got a 70, then it's all good. Now, here, let's look at 4.
Okay.
All right, so you got a point with coordinates 0 and k, which reflection will produce an image at the same coordinate. Okay, so we're going to reflect it and end up in the same place.
I'm looking.
Hmm, that is what that says, right? Which
What?
reflection of the point? Oh, it's a point. Okay, it's not a polygon, it's a point.
Yeah.
So if you reflect a point and it ends up at the same coordinates, yeah, it's a reflection across the y-axis. It's going to end up in the same place. It's going to be a reflection of 360 degrees, actually. It's going to flip and then flip again and end up in the same place.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think why they don't draw you a picture. and whether I would tell you to take the time to draw yourself a picture. It might be helpful to draw your own picture there.
Mhm.
Yeah, because see, okay, here's why we discuss these things, because I learned something from them too. The point has the coordinates 0 and k, Imani. That means that point is going to lie on the y-axis itself.
Mhm.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
X equals 0, so the point is going to be on the y-axis. So any reflection about the y-axis is going to leave that point right where it is. If you reflect about the x-axis, that point is going to, let's say it's pointing upwards. If you reflected about the x-axis, it's going to end up pointing downwards. So the coordinates would be 0 and minus k,
Okay.
a reflection about the x-axis.
I see.
All right. And then let's look at A. Oh, God. Okay. How about we don't look at A? That's another
Why?
that's another one of those you got to pick the 3 right answers. I hate these.
Uh,
No, we can look at it though. Let's look at it. All right, let me move
the
you over here.
second one.
All right. Which statements must be true about the image after a reflection? Well, we know the image would have to be congruent. That's number 1. And that the line segments of the vertices are parallel. See, I have seen that from the ones that we've already looked at.
Mhm.
And the orientation of the image will be the same as the orientation of the original image. That one's a little tricky, but I think uh, no, yeah, that was not true either. That was not true. It's tricky to understand. What they mean though is this one is gonna look like this one, and it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. Like it's gonna be a triangle, but it's gonna be a triangle with points M and P over on the right side instead of on the left side.
Mhm.
That's what will make B untrue. And then EG is going to be perpendicular to the line segments connecting the corresponding vertices. This one's true, and we just saw it, yeah, right here.
Mhm.
See how the vertices, see how the line segments connecting these vertices are perpendicular to the reflector?
Yeah.
That's what this is saying. EG
Oh,
is going to be perpendicular to the line segments that connect P to P prime, N to N prime, and M to M prime.
okay, I see.
All right, so now, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me stop this share now. Let's go back and handle business with quiz. So I'm going to stop this one. Now I'm sharing again, and we'll go back to Edgenuity.
I'm so behind in
Yeah,
all of my
I,
classes.
I want you to quit worrying about that now. I mean, I get it, because whenever you log in, it's telling you you are behind. I get it. I get it. But that can, yeah, you take as long as you need to take to finish the class. Now that's my thing. I'm in it to win it. Just make sure you finish it and learn something.
Okay.
Finish it and learn something.
Okay.
All right. So what we are doing, go ahead and submit the quiz, and let me
I
see if.
already did.
Okay, maybe I have to refresh it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's still saying it might take a. No, that's just translations. Now you just finished reflections. So there's your
Yeah,
quiz.
I'm in translations right now.
Yeah. So yeah, it says attempt 4, you made 70. So you good. I don't have to bypass anything because it puts you on to the next topic.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And you messed around and let me teach you something. So that worked out. Look, you were here for Paolo Freire, and all you were here for all the first block and second block. You must go now. Actually, it's time for third block. So yeah, let me turn you loose and let these next folks come in. I have totally enjoyed you this morning. No, I really have.
Thank you.
All right.
I enjoyed you too. Now I just gotta go clock into my boring class to
Okay.
clock back out.
Yeah, go ahead. No, don't say that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.